Okay, so this video is a little bit different in terms of the setup. I forgot my tripod while I left it at Amelia's house, as well as the microphone. So I'm using our podcast microphone, so I hope the sound's okay. I think it's going to be a bit sensitive though. I'm next door doing building work, so I'm apologising for that too. I've got a new camera that Ryan bought me for my birthday, which I have never used. And it's like a mirrorless camera. It's a whole different kind of thing. It's made by Sony, it's not Canon. I think the lens is wider though, which is quite cool. So it's a whole different setup, but let me know what you think. I'm new to this. I would love some constructive criticism, so please genuinely tell me what you think. It's been a little while since I last filmed a video on this channel. I went to Vietnam, I came back, my brother wasn't very well, and so it kind of just mixed everything up. I'm not using that as an excuse, that's genuinely what happened. A while ago, someone actually commented on one of these YouTube videos on this channel and asked me how I ride a bike with one hand. So when I was in Vietnam, I was riding a bike, Ryan got out his GoPro and I thought I would talk you through it and show you. Please bear in mind that Ryan was sitting on the bike at this time as well, not on the same bike. So the footage is very shaky. This was quite a shaky cycle actually. The ground was quite uneven half the time. Looks quite even, but it wasn't. It was quite textured pavement. Don't know if that makes any sense. And the bikes weren't very good. So let's go back. I actually taught myself how to ride a bike. My cousin William, who's like a year younger than me, had learned to ride a bike. We were young kids. I couldn't tell you what age though. Maybe like 7 or something. Maybe he was younger. Maybe he was a few years older. I don't know. I was in primary school though. And he was learning to ride a bike and he could already do it down the back of his garden, and I got a little bit jealous. I'm a bit competitive, and so I just started trying to ride his bike down the garden up and down, and eventually I just worked out how to do it. The way I would do it is put one hand on one handlebar and my elbow on the other and just learn like that. After riding a bike for a while, I then decided to wear a prosthetic limb on one side, but there's a funny story of me falling off my bike with my nana next to me, her skirt getting all like caught up in the bike, and my hand, my fake prosthetic hand, just stuck on the handlebar, and we got some weird dodgy looks. So that was that. I wasn't using a prosthetic limb on there anymore. Plus the fact I was only using it because people told me to try it out. It wasn't actually useful to me. It didn't really help. It just helps my back a bit. Because my back hurt all the time, because I would always put my elbow in the same place as my hand, I decided to just start riding one-handed, and that's literally what I did. That's what I do. Apart from when it becomes quite bumpy and I need to be a bit more secure, then I'll put my elbow there. But 95% of the time I'll just ride with one hand. It's just a balance thing and it's pretty easy to do. One thing I would note is because I don't have my right hand, I used to when I was a kid, my mum would ask the bike shop to switch over the brakes because the left-handed brake would be the front wheel, and the last thing I wanted to do was press the left brake in an emergency and fall flat forwards. Like the bike go, pew. I don't know if I'm doing a very good job at clearly explaining this, but hopefully you know what I mean. So my mum would just ask the people at the bike to swap them over, so if I was braking on my left hand brake, it would brake the back wheel instead, so I wouldn't go head first. When I was in Vietnam and places like that, I obviously didn't swap the brakes over. I just was very wary that I didn't want to brake very suddenly with the front wheel in my left hand, because that would make me go flying head first. I didn't go that fast anyway, so that's just something to note. If your child or you are thinking of riding a bike and you have a missing limb, or if you're just interested in how I do it. So that's a short but sweet video on how I ride a bike. I'm a strong believer that it's possible for anyone to do something as long as they're willing to adapt and willing to learn and allow their body to work it out for themselves. You just need a bit of time and you need a bit of patience. I have to say, I'm not always a person full of patience. I'm very competitive, But I do believe that there's a way for everybody. And so if you need any help or you have any questions, please pop them down below. And hopefully if you have any advice, you can share that below and answer other people's questions and things like that. I'm really hoping this is going to be more of like a community of people. And if you have any other questions of things you want to see me do, or you want to know how I do things, then please pop them down below as well. Make sure you click that subscribe button and the notification bell. That is the main thing, by the way, the notification bell, as well as the subscribe button, obviously. And I will hopefully see you next week. I'm going to try and get back onto these. Thank you so much for watching all of the videos so far. It's pretty crazy how many people have watched them. And yeah, bye-bye.